Efficient feeding not only makes your birds grow faster but also helps them regain a good quality of meat. Penina's flock is just 3 weeks old and she couldn't be happier seeing how well they are putting on weight. As Joseph explains, Unga has a special feeding regime designed for broiler chicken, the 2-phase and the 3-phase.
In 2-phase diet, we have just a starter and a finisher. And when we talk about the starter, it is in 2 forms. We have a mash or a crumbs. And we give the starter we give from day 1, when they are alive, to day 21. Then that is when you transition to the finisher. Finisher is also in 2 forms. We have the mash and we have the pellet. So from day 22 to slaughter, that is when we use the finisher, either mash or pellet, but we highly recommend the use of pellets. It has better results than mash.
You might be wondering why Joseph insists on the pellet feed more than the mash.
Okay, despite the 2 of them having the same nutritional value, the availability of nutrient depends. Also the intake. When you talk of the mash, a broiler chick will use a lot of energy trying to pick every particle. Then it will tend to choose the bigger particles. Then some will eat the bigger particles, others will eat the finer particles. So in that house, you will lack uniformity. So you'll find some are very big, others are very small. And in a group of broiler birds, the first thing that we wish to achieve is uniformity. Also, with pellets and crumbs, there is no wastage. So when you are calculating your FCR, the feed conversion, you are able to know that very little wastage happened. And like the mash, when the chick is trying to look for the bigger particles. So with that, it will give a better result than the mash.
And what is in the 3-phase diet?
3-phase is an improvement of the 2-phase diet, whereby we have removed the mash and we have replaced it with another diet. So the diet are 3. We have the fast grow advanced starter crumbs, which you feed from day 1 to day 10. From there, you transition to the second diet, which is the fast grow advanced grower pellet, which you feed from day 11 to day 24. Those are 14 days. From there, now you transition to the last diet, which is the fast grow advanced finisher pellets, which you will feed from day 25 up to slaughter. Slaughter depend on whether it's day 35, that is when they achieve the right weight. But if the customer wants bigger chicks with higher weights, you can add the days. Yes, depending on your desirable weight.
Now that your broilers are well fed, this next piece of advice will require your utmost attention. Dr. Joseph Jenga.
The key thing, we always start with the preparation of the house. That is where the day-old chick will come once you get it from the hatchery or from the distributor. So you have to ensure the housing is well. And when we talk about the housing, we are talking about the floor, about the wall, and the roof. Such that you should have a litter ready for warmth. You should have a good ventilation, like the one we have at Mama Penina. Yeah, that is, you have some requirements. It should not go beyond 8 feet, but an open place should be at least 5 feet. That is to allow for ventilation. Also, orientation of the house is the key to avoid direct sunlight, direct wind. So we advocate for east-west orientation of the house, and you should have at least 2 sides, the longest side being open for aeration, for good ventilation. Yes. The roof should not be leaking, should be well slanting, such that it can also allow to reflect UV light, ultraviolet light, so that we don't have excess light here. Then the litter should be at least 4 inches. You should prepare your brooder well in advance, like 24 hours before the arrival. Then you start to heating the house 6 hours before the arrival, so that you can achieve a uniform temperature in the house. Then you should have curtains around to contain that heat, and also because the chick need higher temperature of 33 to 35 once it arrives, and we don't want it to chill because that will start affecting its production. The other one is what we call the placement, whereby now we are considering, now when you bring the chick, what you do, whereby we say you should have water with glucose and a product we call vigocin, that is for the pressing, to allow the chick to get that energy so that it can be able to feed. Remember, maybe you got your chick when you are a bit late, they are a bit dehydrated, so you don't want to feed them and yet they are dehydrated, so also intake will be a bit lower. There are those people who use liquid paraffin, which we don't actually advocate, because some factors we do consider. Then you have to ensure that you check your chick when you are pressing it for some abnormalities about the nerve hearing and all the rest, and you ensure they are alert and they are active. With that one, they are good to go. Then during preparation, you need to achieve 70% cover of your house with feeds. So you apply the chick trays, or if you don't have chick trays, you can use the gunias or feeds. You just cover the litter, then you pour down there, and also a source of water. So with that one, you are sure that the chick will start to feed immediately. A chick that starts to feed immediately will have a better performance than the chick that was starved. So the first aim is to ensure they take water, then they can feed as soon as possible. And the target weight we do for the first week, the reason why we use a high energy diet, is that chick that you got it with 42 grams, you need it to have at least 4.25 times its original weight, going to roughly 180, 193. So if you don't achieve that, just know your end weight will also be affected. The other things that we do is to ensure they are eating and then they don't overcrowd at one place, because they will start suffocating. Then you monitor the level of the heat in the house. The level of heat, it should not be too hot or too cold. And you'll know the sign when it is too cold, they'll come toward the source of heat. When it's too hot, it will go away from the heat. Then also another thing we prevent is the draft, what we call the wind, where you will find them in one corner because maybe you open the door at night and the wind blew in, or you came to change the jiko. So those are the things that you monitor to avoid the early mortalities. The other thing you test is the crop fill. If you want to be sure that your chicks fed, one thing you just check is the crop feed, which we do at 6 hours. After you put them on feed, you check the crop, you will feel the content. If it is too fluid, you'll know that chick didn't eat, it drank a lot of water. Then it is so hard, you know it has just eaten, but it has not taken water. So both of them have negative effect. So you should have something that is medium and you know it has taken. There are those which will be completely empty, others will be completely full. So you'll take the precaution, maybe it's the distribution or accessibility of the feeds. From there you check at 24 hours where you should have a uniformity in the crop. From there is the usual management of ensuring there is feed and there is water. Then you check the level of the feeders and the level of the drinkers. Another crucial thing is now you observe the vaccination schedule, when to vaccinate and what to vaccinate with. So there are those schedules that we offer. And of importance is to seal away the prey from any intruders. So be it another unnecessary traffic, rodents and wild birds. With biosecurity, you'll control 80% of most of the diseases.
Back to Penina. How does the future look?
I see myself having a lot of chicken. I see, first of all, this house is not even full. I want to get this house full. When it's full, I can go up. I can say I am not limiting myself. I want to go to the farthest place I can go with chicken farming, because I know out there is market. As long as there's market and you have capital to keep, I don't think there should be any limits.
And why Unga Farm Care East Africa?
I don't think they can compare to anyone. In terms of the quality of feeds, I don't think there is a better quality in Kenya for feeds than Unga. and they have variety. There is something for everyone. If you want to go to the mash, if you want to go to pellets, if you want to go to advanced pellets, so they have something for everyone, anyone, whatever you want to, whatever formula you want to use, they have it. They have a lot of support. They give a lot of support to farmers. When I first kept chicken, now this time round when I started afresh, that was end of last year, beginning of this year. Actually, I kept chicken in December to be sold in January. So my business is now 1 year old. Right from day one when I received chicks, they are even the ones who delivered the chicks to me. And they made sure the brooder is okay, everything is okay. They kept coming to make sure everything is okay. In terms of support and the quality of feeds, they compare to none.
In Unga, we have a very elaborate distribution channels where we ensure the food is at your doorstep. From the company, the food is channeled to the distributors and the key farms. So from distributors, that is where now we'll get to the stockist, and you can get our feeds at a very local shop, the local outlet, at a very affordable price. And it's available in all packages from 50 kilos up to the 5 kgs, because it's considering all different types of the farms.
Join us next week, same time, as we take a look at improved kienyeji farming. Keep it KTN Farmers TV.